Kind of ridiculous. Oh, so I guess I do have to admit you. Huh. Is it recording? It is recording. Let's pause that.
I guess March, we held our virtual meetings, and I decided that it was easier for me to come up to town hall and do the meetings, just it would keep the distraction of my family and kids at the house. So I've spent the last handful of months on meeting nights up here by myself, looking in the computer screen. So it is very nice to have some faces back and to have our council back and our staff. So we just hope that we can continue this and that we all stay healthy. So I would first like to start out by asking Father Todd Bill from St. Margaret's Episcopal Church to, if you would like to come up, if you want to stay back there, either way, if you're fine.
Well, it's going to be loud enough for back here. So.
Okay, and he will be opening us in prayer.
And I'm happy to do that. I'm thankful that y'all are back here doing the work and so that everybody is safe. But I offer for prayer from our prayer book, a prayer for those in civil authority. I thought that'd be nice to do. So, all right. Let us pray. O Lord, our governor, whose glory is in all the world, we commend this nation to thy merciful care, that being guided by thy providence, we may dwell secure in thy peace. Grant to the President of the United States, the governor of this state, to this council, and to all who hold authority, wisdom and strength to know and to do thy will. Fill them with the love of truth and righteousness, and make them ever mindful of their calling to serve this people in thy fear. Through Jesus Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, world without end. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to stay, or you can.
Well, my wife's waiting for dinner.
There you go. I believe it. Okay, I will open our meeting at 7:02 to what's October 12th, 2020, and we'll stand for the pledge. I'm a little rusty here. I pledge allegiance to the flag I believe we've discussed having it. Normally our Christmas tree lighting is now the Friday before Thanksgiving, and to give us time to pray through town, we're going to do it on the Saturday, November 21st. So that's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So we'll just kind of keep everybody posted. That's the plan, and we'll have a route and some more information. So I would just say, look at your emails, keep up with Facebook and Instagram and our Facebook and our website. So that's all I have. Council? Yes.
The only thing I have is True Alliance sponsored our September 19th fall shredding event. We more than doubled the amount of material we normally shred. We actually shredded 10 tons of material for Union County. And that's 2 truckloads of material. And we had people that were out there for 5 hours. I want to thank Officer Pratt for coming, DJ Chow and Jason Perez were some youth volunteers. Toya Bailey from True Light worked the whole time. Mayor Callis worked the whole time. We were there for 5 hours. But again, we doubled what we normally do. It wasn't pretty, but it got done. So
we'd still be out there shredding if we didn't. Well, yeah.
10 tons, 20,000 pounds, 10 tons.
It was good though. It was good stuff.
I really don't have any reports. I just have a request for staff. I know there's been some concerns in the residents about some proposed developments that may or may not have ever been coming to fruition. I was asking if you could, in the next newsletter, put a link to the page on our website where it has a list of all of our active developments and subdivisions and projects that have been approved or been proposed to the council. So that way they'll know that they can actually just go and click whether or not something is.
Yep.
just the argument.
I got it.
Very
Okay. I'll give a report on the latest meeting from the Western Union Municipal Alliance. Our October meeting, our September meeting went well. Still working on getting a few things set up and established. We've got a new letterhead. We've got some logos that we've approved. But as far as the business, I want to thank the council because we do have one of the first items we got to was this proposal, this resolution that we are supporting Wesley Chaplain in our opposition to Park Place development that's supposed to go in. That's on our consent agenda tonight. I can tell you that every community, member of the alliance was opposed to it, and all the reps, we were bringing that resolution back to our individual councils to do exactly what we're doing tonight to sign off on it and again send that to the county to say that we are in opposition to that. The other things that we're working on is a proposal that hopefully we will have ready to present to our individual councils in November, dealing with our proposal to the county about the donut holes, about county unincorporated property that's around here, and how we would like that to see that addressed in the Union 2050 plan. And also the other thing we're trying to work on is something that I know Lisa brought up with us at our last meeting, is some possible alternative revenue streams or revenue sources for traffic projects that if they're deemed critical enough that hopefully we can find some federal money or something that we can figure out a way to tap into and help each other out. And that's all I've got.
Okay. Public comments. We have to.
I don't think so. No.
Public safety. All right, Deputy Crop.
Good evening, I'm Deputy Croft. I work for the town of Weddington through the Union County Sheriff's Office as a contract deputy. As far as our public safety report this month, we're just sort of passing on to residents as far as, it's Halloween. We're not exactly sure how that's going to look this year, but they need to take the standard precautions that they can to sort of, limit their distance between people as they're out scouring the neighborhood if they're going to actually go out and do that. And if homeowners aren't interested in kids coming to their house, just make sure that your lights is off so that you don't have people knocking on your door. I believe Deputy Wren is going to be working this Halloween. I believe I'm going to be coming in as well, just so that we add a deputy in the town during the trick or treat, just in case there is a lot of kids out. Also, because the holidays are coming up, November, December, we just wanted to pass on. I know I passed it on one time before, but the United States Postal Service has an informed delivery, and if a lot of people with COVID is doing a lot of deliveries to the house, and it's an email system that sends you a picture of all your mail that's coming to your residence, and also gives you a list of packages so that you know when they're going to come to the house. So if you were interested in that, go to the United States Postal Service website and you can get some more information on that. And now I want to introduce Deputy Grant Wren. He's now assigned to the town of Weddington, replacing Sean Dodd, who left to go to a school resource position. Deputy Wren graduated from Parkwood High School in 2007. He joined the United States Air Force and has been deployed 3 times while serving. Deputy Wren was a part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom while on active duty. In 2010, he graduated from the basic law enforcement training as a top cadet. In 2011, Deputy Wren began his law enforcement career in the town of Wingate. Since then, he's moved on to the town of Stallings in 2014 until his recent hire with the Union County Sheriff's Office. During his law enforcement career, Deputy Wren has been assigned to several units to include investigations, traffic enforcement, canine secondary handler, special weapons and tactical SWAT operator, and as a certified instructor. Deputy Wren brings a lot of knowledge and training to the Union County Sheriff's Office in the town of Weddington as a contract deputy. Deputy Wren and his wife Brooke were married on December the 27th, 2014. They have 2 young boys, Jackson and William. If you'd like to read some additional about Deputy Wren, you can go to the October version of the Weddington Journal where he has a bio in there. So, welcome aboard.
Very nice, and thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
All right, exciting. Okay, thank you for that, Deputy Crop. All right, now we have Chief McClendon. He is going to be giving us an update on some new programs. So we are glad you're here, and we can officially congratulate you in person on the awesome grant money that you worked so hard to get. So congratulations.
Thank you.
on that.
Thank you. So yeah, just want to take a few minutes and talk to the council about some of the programs that are going on, and then also just answer any other questions that may be there. So we were successful in receiving 2 federal grants this year. One of them is for COVID-19 supplies. It was a 100% grant from the AFG, which is Assistance to Firefighters Grant, and that was for a little over $12,000. And so what that has allowed us to do is to start procuring N95 masks, isolation gowns, anything that's related to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been very difficult for us because the supply chain logistics, as everybody has seen across the news, have been even difficult for the first responders to be able to get that equipment. And so what this grant allows us to do is use it for a 12-month performance period. And so we're starting to slowly purchase things. We just ordered 2,500 N95 masks that should be here by the end of the week, which will serve our organization for a very long time. And then also additional medical gloves and isolation gowns, face protection, things of that nature. So that was one of the grants that we received, and we're extremely happy about that. The second grant is a recruitment and retention grant that we received for $334,000, $334,500, I believe. And so this is a 4-year grant, and the way this program works is there's two different avenues with the SAFER program. There's one avenue that you can go that is strictly for staffing, which allows you to hire firefighters. The other one is for recruitment and retention. And so we chose to go the recruitment and retention route for this particular year. And what this will allow us to do is to create programs and incentives that will allow us to hopefully continue to grow our organization as well as retain some of the members that we have. So we have a very good retention rate and have for many years, and our growth is continuing to improve as well. But as the communities develop, it's always a little bit more difficult to attract more people. And so some of these programs that we're very excited about, one of the bigger ones is a college tuition program. And so what we'll be able to do now is we will have an allotment of money annually that we'll be able to give scholarships to our responders. So we've got people that are in our junior firefighter program that are coming up. They graduate from the Sun Valley High School program. They decide they want to go to college, and we can say, hey, we'll offer you, a scholarship in return for participation, when you're back from school, as well as, other people. We've got people that, are going to undergrad school and, things like that. And so once again, we can offer those scholarship programs for those people in return for commitments to serve the organization for certain time limits and things like that. So that's one of the components. The other component is a training incentive program. And so as our responders continue to develop their training, we're able to give them, one-time bonus check for attending their training classes. It also allows us to purchase 5 sets of personal protective equipment per year. So a total of 20 sets over the 4-year period. And then it also allows us to send 5 individuals for a full pre-hire physical. And so all of our firefighters, and we've been doing this for, I think maybe at least 10 years now. Anytime we have a firefighter, whether they're volunteer or paid, that is becoming an interior certified firefighter, which means that they're actually going to go inside of a burning building. And we send them to get an OSHA NFPA 1500 physical. And so that does everything from a chest x-ray to a pulmonary function test to lab work. It's a very, very comprehensive physical, but it's quite expensive. And so, what this program will allow us to do as well is to have additional funding to send, those new hires or new volunteer members to get their physical. We'll be able to pay for some of their turnout gear, and then also we'll be able to reward them for the training that they do over the next couple of years. So that's kind of the SAFER grant. There's a couple other little, things in there, but those are the highlights of it. So I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have about any of those.
No, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. And I will point out, Janice emailed me some information on the grants as well, and that was a big help. So I do want to point that out. That,
Toot her horn.
yeah, no, it was great.
We'll toot your horn for you.
No, I'm just glad you did it, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you got the money. It
Yeah.
helps everybody.
Yeah, so we've done pretty well with grants over the years, and so we're continuing to seek out those. We receive private grants as well. We just received another small grant, around $2,000 from Target. So Target does a community, I believe they call it the Circle program, Target Circle program, and so we're enrolled in that program as well. We just got notified that we received around $1,950 from them from this last campaign that they did from Target as well. So we're always looking at different avenues to participate in those things. So we're certainly excited about that, and we'll continue to push forward on
Well,
those.
very good. Well, congratulations to
Thank you,
you.
thank you,
and-
thank you.
And council, any questions?
Thanks, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Steve.
Can I say a few more things? You mind?
Absolutely. No, you go right ahead.
All right.
Give us family.
Like 6 months. So just, I want to give the council and the citizens just a few more updates. So one other thing that's on the horizon that we're very excited about, and Councilman Smith and I had these discussions many years ago, but we're getting ready to start a pilot program for an advanced EMT program. And so we're going to be the first ones in the county that are pioneering this program. We've secured funding in this last year's budget process to host the classes, and the certification will last about 6 to 8 months. And so we're hoping to start that after the first of the year, with an anticipation of implementing the program on an initial basis sometime in the next budget year. So what our plan with this is that we're going to hopefully train a large number of our members on advanced care. So currently we operate at the EMT basic level, which is it's a good level. And I hate to use the word basic because it's not a basic function. There are some advanced techniques there. But there's some things that we cannot do. So we cannot start IVs. We cannot push certain cardiac and stroke drugs if our residents are in those situations. And so we have to rely on the ambulance service for that to happen. So for many years now, I've been working with Union County EMS Director and our medical director for Union County on trying to discuss this program and find out how does that fit into this environment. And so we've been working through this really heavy prior to COVID. It kind of got put on hold, and now we're kicking it back up. But hopefully here in the foreseeable future, we're going to be in the positions where we're going to have a number of advanced care EMTs in the fire district. And then what will happen is that those individuals will then respond to the calls that we identify as that level of service. So in other words, instead of just getting the fire truck, if somebody's having a stroke symptom or somebody's having a cardiac related symptom, you get the fire truck plus those EMTs. And those advanced EMTs will probably be in a pickup truck or an SUV or something like that. But they'll be able to go, and then they can start IVs, they can start pushing cardiac drugs, they can start doing a lot of the advanced care functions that an EMT can't do, and we think that'll be just a great benefit, to our citizens moving forward. So I do want to emphasize it's a pilot program. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of funding that has to be secured to sustain it long term, but we feel that getting the initial certification is the most important and first part, and then we're continuing to hopefully build out the program moving forward. So I'll be glad to answer any questions that I don't caught you off guard with that, but if there are any questions about that, I'll be glad to
So
answer those.
now when I see grants come across, I'll look and say, oh. look.
Yeah, those so yeah, and then one other small thing.
So that training, funding from that will come.
So we secured funding during the county's budget process for the initial, it's in this
For the
year's
initial
budget,
pilot-
for the initial pilot training, right?
Okay.
We still have to purchase the equipment associated with that. We still have to talk about, the staff positions, and how that fits into the equation. How many of those we're going to do, where are they going to be located? All of those things still have to be determined on in the future. But the idea would be to put one of those units at the new fire station that we're building over on Gray Road, and then the other one would be at the fire station behind Target. And basically what that does is uses 12 Mile Creek as a center dividing line. And so this unit over here would serve this geographical area, that unit would serve that geographical area. That's the concept, right?
Right.
There's still a lot of moving parts that have to go into that.
I have a question about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the difference in time from an EMT arriving on scene to an ambulance that would have that training on site?
Yeah, so I don't have those numbers right in front of me, but I'll say that they vary. And so Union County uses a program called System Status Management. Mecklenburg County EMS Agency uses this as well. And what it does is their ambulances rove, and they rove to geographical areas where high concentrations of calls are projected to be based on a computer analytical system, right? And so instead of having an ambulance, at this building where they sleep, they are assigned to what Union County calls neighborhoods. And so they may be in this neighborhood today. And then if there's a lot of calls over by the target, then this is a cold zone, and now this becomes a hot zone, right? And so the response times vary drastically because they're not in the same locations. So I would be able to give you an average, but I wouldn't say that that would be a true number, right? And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this is because the fire stations are static locations, right? They're there, the fire assets are there, the first responders are there. And so we believe that by strategically placing those units, over here and over here, that will give a better distribution to a larger geographical area. And chances are that there may be some circumstances where the ambulance does arrive first, but we anticipate there being a lot of circumstances where we arrive first. And that would just give that citizen a lot better outcome if we're able to get that higher level of care in a faster amount of time.
Does it change your rating at all as a fire?
From an insurance perspective, no, ma'am. It doesn't have anything to do with insurance. So this is a medical component, and the insurance is rated strictly on firefighting. And so there's no parallel between the two. It's an additional service that we believe would be a benefit to the citizens.
I have a question. One to yours is this that I got years ago was 14 to 17 minutes per response time. And I think that that's somewhat not exactly accurate depending on how busy it is, because sometimes if you get a busy hour that it might be even longer. So that being said, I just want to thank you for doing this, because I hope people realize how important this is what you're doing. And I realize it's pilot and it's still kind of getting off the ground, but I also noticed some of the hurdles that you had to go through.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
To do this.
Yeah.
But I had and I think we have a fine paramedic program, but it's stretched thin, and I think that this is so needed.
Mhm.
And I just want to thank you for taking the initiative to do this. And again, I've had multiple conversations with you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate you doing.
Well, every minute matters.
It
It does, and so I do want to make sure everybody understands that it's not a transport service. So we're not taking people to the hospital, and really that's the beauty of it, is because once they're done, there's no downtime. They immediately are available for another call. So where in the ambulance service, they have to take that patient to the hospital, and now that unit is not available.
Yeah,
And so part of this program is that while that ambulance has gone to the hospital, now they can serve while those response times. So
usually stabilized.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Outstanding.
So there's a lot of I will say that Union EMS is very excited about it. They see a lot of the other elected officials that I've spoken to throughout the county are very excited about it, and so we feel that it's a long road ahead. So I want to be open and honest about that. But we feel that there's some very good things to come in the future. So.
Well, fantastic. Well, we will
Anything
support
else?
that. as
I have one more thing.
Oh, good.
One more small thing.
That's all right.
One more small thing. And so just one other thing, just want to let everybody aware of, and hope I don't catch Lisa off guard by this, but we had a meeting the other day, and I pitched the idea to Lisa that I would be looking for a potential text amendment to some zoning things that have to deal with minor subdivisions and fire hydrant placements. So we ran into a little bit of a situation where, so we get notified, or I get notified at the fire department when all subdivisions are permitted through Union County through the fire marshal's office. And so what happens is I will get a plot plan of that subdivision, but after that point, it's already gone through a lot of the processes, right? And so we've identified that there are a few little I don't know what you would call them, but there's some variances in what Public Works has for fire hydrant locations and what we would prefer. Okay, So I approached Lisa about it because we have a situation in another municipality that we're working with through there. But basically, the way that the text is written right now, and Lisa, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there could be a fire hydrant within 500 feet of that minor subdivision, but it might be on the wrong side of the road. And so that's the situation we're running into, is that developers are coming in and they're buying up a 10 or 12 acre plot, they're building a small minor subdivision, but the fire hydrant
It's not accessible.
It's not accessible.
Really
That's right.
It's not
It's
really
there,
useful.
but it's not, we can't use it without shutting the entire road
Road
down.
down.
If we shut the road down, which we will, but now no more fire trucks can come in. So what we would prefer is to have that fire hydrant on the other side of the road. And so it's just a language that we would ask that the town work on. Lisa has conceptually agreed to that, but I'm sorry. I didn't.
He's making sure.
Yeah,
We would strongly prefer
covering his
that.
bases.
Any support with that? That's it. I'm sorry, the train's gone now, so.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and sometimes we find that you have one body that has their things written this way, and then you have somebody else that has it written this way, and they're just not jiving for everybody else that's involved. And so sometimes you kind of have to move your mind.
And on the larger subdivisions, it's never been an issue because they require water lines, but
Right.
what we're seeing is these donut holes, I think you alluded to that area, right? These
Small little areas
small
where they're
little
putting
holes.
5, 6, 7.
And we're just afraid that if we don't get in front of that, and 10 years down the road, we're gonna have 30 of these small subdivisions and there's gonna be no fire hydrant. So
Okay.
that's kind of what started. So
Okay.
that's all I've
All
got.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for coming out. All right.
Sorry, Lisa.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, the consent agenda. We have a handful of things on the consent agenda, so Lisa, if you'll take a second.
Thank you. Item 9A is a proclamation designating October 24th as World Polio Day. 9B is a resolution in support of the Village of Wesley Chapel against the development of Park Place. This is the development that Councilmember Perryman was talking about. It's over 2,110 units with commercials on the east side of Wesley Chapel. So we'll get that to them tomorrow. And then item 9C, D, and E are all policies that are related to the CARES grant that we received. They're federal requirements for procurement, maintenance of our items, and conflict of interest policy. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions? Sounds like there are none. I will look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Okay, approval of minutes, September 24th, regular town council meeting minutes. What did I say? Oh, that's too good, thank you. September 14th, regular town council meeting minutes. I actually did have one minor change, and I mentioned it to Karen.
I got
It just, the transportation, just, it should read the Union County Quarterly Transportation versus the CLT. It's very minor, but nonetheless. So that was, she did make that change. And if there are no others, I will look for a motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended. All in favor? Unanimous. All right, the September 17th Town Council Special Meeting minutes. Changes? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve. So moved. All in favor? All right. Unanimous. Okay, we are down to our public hearing. This is a discussion and consideration of the conditional zoning amendment for Christ South Phase 1 at 315 Reed Dairy Road. So I will open our public hearing, and I know that we have one gentleman, Mr. Phil Gilboy.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Okay, if you would like to come up and,
Do I take my mask off and go back here?
Whatever you're comfortable doing, you
Whatever
can
you're
come.
comfortable
You can
with.
come.
That's what you're comfortable with.
I'm okay if you want to come up
I'm good.
and take
I'm
your
good.
mask.
Good. Sorry.
How are you?
Good.
Put it down.
Janice, how you doing?
Good, how are
Good
you?
seeing
Good to
you.
see you.
No controversy, okay? I've been there before, okay, I promise. It's all good, okay? I guess I'm, real quickly, history, you don't need know-it-alls telling you how the world works. You guys do a great job. Debbie, my wife, did something with her back, so I have her proxy. Back, I guess, in the 90s, we were pretty involved in the town. I'm a good or bad. I've seen a lot that's taken place. I guess ran the planning board, and I'd almost forgotten until I walked in, but I guess I'm supposed to take credit. I was the one who started taking over the finances and getting the town involved with the local government commission and the funds. Not a big return, but very, very unique to the other 50 states of what North Carolina set up. And my wife want to let you know she was your friendly, first friendly tax collector. There's some stories there, but I'll just leave it at that, okay?
Appreciate that. I'm sure there are.
We have a plaque your father gave us, okay, gave her the thank you. But, so that's the history on that. Also, I want to clarify something. I'm a big believer in people own land and it's their land to develop, okay? You know, all that's taken place, but I've never been a fan of people getting a free look at free use of land when other people are paying taxes. That's what Weddington's been. So let me start with that, and the fact it's the church's land and they do have the right to develop it. So let me say, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I figured if I didn't, I'd always think, why didn't I get up here and say something? Plus I get to meet everybody. When I say we, it's for Debbie and myself. We always knew something had built behind us. We're on the Walden Trail property. We do have concerns regarding the new plans submitted versus the original plans, which is where we left off. We are not against the church or daycare. I want to stress that very quickly. We're appreciative, and I really mean that, all each of you do. I just think, I guess I went through, saw it in a different light sometimes, but I'm very, very appreciative of what you all do and your service and whatever. I do fully understand the conditional use process with R40 and R60 zoning. I think my name's on a lot of things that may need to be changed. And I really want to say, Lisa's top notch, probably the best zoning administrator the town has ever had. I really mean that. Just very thorough, very impressive. I hope we don't lose you, I'll put it that way. I just think you do a wonderful job. Our concerns very quickly, and I won't be long because I don't know if I have 20 minutes or 5 minutes, but I'll go with that. But Weddington is unique to the years of scrutiny regarding zoning and the standards that must be met to have a development approved. I guess what gets, and I'm just going from my years of experience, not a know-it-all, but just I've aged quite a bit, and just things I've seen, and sometimes nightmares I have of things that didn't get done that should have been done. But I just wonder, does a project this aggressive lower these standards? Just throwing a question out. Overly ambitious plans tend to get out of control. It can lead to regulatory and enforcement nightmares. I'm just speaking from experience and some of the things I've seen. Lisa has addressed, which I appreciate, many of what I brought up, so I may be redundant. But the outdoor amphitheater, the noise level, I just don't want another elevation church area. Restrictions must be put in place. The lighting ordinance adhered to. The food trucks, I understand the 4 times a year, but I can see that getting out of control. To me, they belong in a business zoning, the B zoning, if that's what is still there, B1 and 2. I'm also concerned with limited space on Dairy Road, plus an active elementary school and an upcoming fire station, which we're very happy to have. The outdoor wedding venue, I sound mean, but that can quickly turn into a lucrative business disguised as a church activity. Alcohol usage and teenage parties, they will occur after hours. I got along very well with the Reeds and Matthews, thought they're wonderful people. They actually had a 4th house on the property. They rented out, and that just turned into a party city. That was probably about 15 years ago. Just asking, I'm just asking before, knowing this will be approved, these are items that could be addressed. Overflow parking, school fire station could be very, very busy. We asked that the previous restriction, initial plans at least put in place remain, which you did verify today. Appreciative. And last thing, and now I know it all, but just asking, I used to walk every piece of property brought before the town. I'd go out in boots and just walk it. I wanted to get a feel for it. You all have other jobs. This isn't permanent, but if schedules permit, before approvals granted with a project this complex, what I also consider maybe a potential game changer, I ask you to do the same. We're concerned being adjoining property owners. However, churches and farms have a history in this town. And from my previous experience, if restrictions are not put in place beforehand, it's too late to go back addressing problems that I guess I said I promise and I know will occur. So I'm going to leave it at that. And we're going to wish you success, but I just seen some things that have taken place. We discussed, your dad seen that I wish weren't there, but everybody does the best they can. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm good. So,
Okay, very good.
get out of here. Go to
Okay,
that fire station.
is there anyone else here to speak?
Unless the applicant wants to speak, that's all we have.
Okay, all right, then I will close our public hearing and I will look to Lisa for.
Thank you. Christ Lutheran Church requests a conditional zoning amendment for church use on 12.739 acres. It's the northwest corner of Ray and Reed Dairy Road. The site was rezoned back in October of 2018, which was your typical large church building with the parking lot. Since that approval, the applicant purchased an additional property, we call it the Matthews property. A second amendment was approved in December of 19 to allow for preschool use within an existing building. And then tonight we're here for phase 1, which is changing the current approved use, the elevations, and then making the changes to the site plan to a more park-like setting. We're still allowing the same use, which is a church and ancillary uses with a maximum gross floor area of 55,000 square feet. Site plan shows 2 access points. They're going to keep this current access point to serve the Thrive preschool, and then they're going to expand the second access point, which is right here just north of that. The parking has been separated into sections to avoid large expanses of asphalt. It's located outside of the required setbacks. They do meet the required number of parking spaces, which is 60. They've provided 66. And we'll have to look again at phase 2, make sure we have enough parking when they come back for that second building. The applicant has provided a 50-foot landscape buffer, which will have to come back through you all through the design review board, along with the elevations as well. The elevations show a fiber cement lap siding, wooden barn doors, overhead doors, and a metal roof. This too will have to go through that process. Planning board reviewed plans on August 24th. They raised questions on stormwater, impervious surface, and parking, and they wanted to make sure that none of these buildings are used for any retail type use, which we've confirmed. Since the council has called for the public hearing last month, we did meet with the adjacent property owner, Mr. Phil Gilboy. He raised the same concerns. We tried to address them the best we could, and that is outlined in the staff report, some of the responses to his concerns. State statute requires that all zoning regulations are made in accordance with the comprehensive plan. So I did provide a statement of land use plan consistency, and then staff recommends approval with the conditions as previously approved. Adding the condition that the amphitheater areas changed to common open space, which they've already went ahead and changed it. Sorry, it's not going to a lawn area. I think the intent is for like open picnics and not really a musical type of event facility. It's more of just an open lawn area. And then that the food truck area is for church use and events only, that it's not a big business type food truck area. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I believe Pastor Matt Simpkins is here as well to provide you all with some information.
Have they looked at the traffic impacts that they were concerned with the new fire station, with the school, with the church? Have their traffic studies been completed with that, or?
Yes, when they originally came in, it was for the 55,000 square foot church use, so that hasn't changed. Then we're all conditioned that if that Thrive preschool grows, they'll have to come back and do a second analysis. But the fire department use was already approved when we looked at that analysis, and they knew about the school as well.
And the church events, they're held to look, like for a year, right?
They'd have
So-
to get a temporary permit.
Sure. So they're held there. And I did have some concerns at first, but you did I really appreciate the job you did at the end of describing that. Really kind of answered a lot of my concerns, and I appreciate that. So I think it's important to note that it's not that they can have all these events. They're held just like everybody else before, so.
And we notify adjacent property owners when we get those permits, and there's a public hearing with the planning board for.
And the lighting doesn't leave the property.
Right, they'll be required to do a photometrics plan to make sure there's no.
And the sound decibels have to adhere to our noise ordinance.
Correct.
And there's hours of operation that are limited as well.
Yep, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Well, just, kind of a prime example for food trucks. My boys are active in youth at Matthews United Methodist. Now Matthews and zoning is different, but the point is last night they had a food truck out there for the youth, and they said, prior to youth group, prior to their small group meetings, you guys come, grab some pizza, grab drinks, bring your blankets, bring your masks, and sit down. So I'm kind of envisioning things like that where you're having youth gatherings, you're having, they used to do it sometimes on football Sundays after church. So after the 12 o'clock service, they had food trucks out there, and what they would say is they would have, last night was only one, but sometimes on Sundays, they may have 2 or 3 out there, and it was for members to come out, get lunch, and then go back in the commons area and watch the football game. So you see kind of some of the uses versus, kind of a Matthews, a live food truck event that's going on until 11 o'clock, more for youth or certain activities like that. Is that kind of?
Yeah, it's interesting. The architects added that in response to some conversations that we had about the excitement of having a space that Weddington could use. And we said, Weddington's, we've got this little teeny space around the town hall, which we make good use of, but there might be a time where we make that space available and do the food truck Fridays. You guys can take over the land, do whatever you want to with it. The goal was making a space that the town, wanted. So it's funny that we're talking about food trucks when it actually came up because we thought it'd be cool to make sure that if town of Weddington wanted a space to expand that you had a space to do that, because you just do, everything was so landlocked around town.
Well, and even things like the school tools truck. That was a great event. You guys sponsored it, but I don't even know how that we kind of threw that together. But it was, you guys held it on your land. You had the movie, and we recruited folks and got a lot of school tools. And so things like that is kind of neat. So. I just thought I would point out the food truck just because they had that in our youth group last night for our use. So,
yeah, I'd be happy to answer.
I have one more question. I'm an insurance agent, so I get scared when I see things. I see things like a ropes course, and I see that woods. I see a wedding venue. But that ropes course scares the tar out of me just because of liability reasons. But I'm guessing that's something that you guys have.
It's like,
the consideration there.
The consideration is more like a low ropes playground kind of thing, like wooden bridges and stuff like that, not like zip lines through the forest. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
That's not really what we're after.
And that's not liability. I know if I just saw it.
Yeah, but the church also maintains insurance for all of those things that happen on it. But we have really, really great managers of risk on our council and in our congregation that all have the same kind of eyes looking up.
What's your thought on the public then having access to your playgrounds, stuff like that?
So that's a great question. That's really kind of what we hope would happen. I mean, this is a different concept of church, right? We're not trying to build a monolith to our own fundraising capabilities. We're trying to say, what does the town want? We came in, we met with Mayor Callis and Lisa and said, what does the town need? And you guys gave us a survey that you guys have put out to the town, and it was a 500-page, this massive response to survey. And we heard over and over again, green space, open space, a place to gather. And so instead of coming in and building an elevation kind of big building and then just massive parking lot, we thought, let's do what the town wants. And if you're going to serve a community, they're asking for these things, let's do those things. So there's really nothing, strange about it in my head, but I guess when I talk to folks about it, they're like, well, that's you mean so you're not going to have a steeple and bells and all that? No, we're going to create a space that people want to utilize. So the public comes and uses it. We'll have walking trails, and certainly we'll have development standards about how they can use those trails and walk at your own risk kind of stuff. But the goal is to give people a place to be, just like churches have been forever, where people used to want to go into a building and sit and pray, for 30 minutes on their own, like you've seen in cathedrals forever. This might be a different understanding of how church works, especially post-COVID, that people want a place to go and not be in a building, but have a sacred space available to them. So it's got a lot of really great potential, and we're really excited to get to this point. And we have a long ways to go, but we're really excited. I'm happy to answer any questions and whatever would be helpful.
And tonight you're approving phase 1, which is everything kind of on the north or right side. So this big barn, if this existing building changes, that would come back to you. We can look at parking again, and they'll probably have more changes.
The little barn.
So the existing house,
Phase 1.
little barn, lawn.
Yeah,
And
phase one is
then
primarily landscaping,
that existing house, or the existing,
but
whatever, utility shed.
Right.
The deck,
it's got, it's like a barn with a deck.
I think that's gonna be his office to meet with anyone. A copy.
Thank you for coming.
I'm sorry, what?
Thank you for.
Oh. Thank you guys for serving.
I don't think I have any questions. Does anybody else have any questions? I don't. Okay. All right. There is a land use plan consistency statement that will have to be approved. So I will read that land use consistency statement. The subject parcel is designated for traditional residential on the Weddington land use plan. The conditional zoning meets the goals of the land use plan in that the use retains a mix of land uses that reinforce a unique small town character. The design is consistent with the unique small town character of Weddington. The existing trees and undisturbed area create a buffer between the existing residential homes. It is reasonable given the use and character of the area with the school and fire department. And I will need a motion to approve that land use consistency statement.
So
All in favor? Okay, that is unanimous. So now I will look for a motion to approve the conditional zoning amendment for Christ South Phase 1 at 315 Reed Dairy Road, including conditions as previously approved for this site, adding the condition that the amphitheater area is changed to common open space and the food truck area shall be for church use and events only. I get everything in there I need? Okay. All in favor? Okay. Very good.
When do you expect to break ground?
Yesterday. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky, right, with COVID stuff. It's just changed all the timing. of everything, but we're excited that we can move forward, and thank you so much for your trust.
Shoot, that wasn't.
Very good. Awesome. We are excited.
We'll see you guys. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, no old business, new business. Discussion and consideration of personnel handbook amendment. Lisa, you want to go over your?
Michael, do you want to do this one or?
It doesn't matter, I can do that. We had discussed some employee benefits a while back, and I think about some things on the table. The only thing that I'm kind of suggesting here, and I've spoken to all you about, is just making a minor change to the tenure in which you can accrue time. It doesn't have any monetary impact to the town. And then also the ability for any unused vacation to be carried over and put into sick time. This, I think, will help the town in retaining staff, and it also will make us more appealing if we have to hire a new staff member.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's right. But,
No,
you know,
you're for sure,
retiring,
absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. No,
You
no.
might
and
need clerk.
so, it also will make the
Might
fact
need
that,
clerk.
that if somebody spends time with the municipal, government or state,
That,
that
that's a big deal.
We're not gonna lose
You and
them.
I talked about that.
Right.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, nobody wants to spend 10 years working somewhere to move to another job and start back at ground zero.
And
I
that's
mean,
tough.
that's tough.
It
Yeah, so I
So I
don't.
think this is a good move all around. I also like that one other thing. And I think if you read it in the packet, is that the language, which is or a little tough to read, Tom, but I'd like to make it, put it into the motion as well, is to instruct staff to clean that language up a little bit, just to make it easier to read. You know, I think I know who wrote this, but I think it needs to.
I know who wrote it.
I think a lot of
The
money was
attorney,
spent
a lot of
on
money was spent on
it.
it.
At legal counsel for.
Exactly.
So these the new stuff you want cleaned up?
No,
Oh,
no,
God.
just. There's some old.
Yeah, we know who wrote it.
Yeah, yes, we do.
How is it time to be insulted?
So, I think it was supposed to mimic legally, but I'm not sure what it means.
Okay,
But,
yeah, absolutely. And I think that we had discussed, for goals of this year, for me to take the time during my office hours to review these and we can serve those.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, any questions? Okay, I will look for motion to approve the amendments to the personnel handbook as shown in the packet.
So,
All in favor? All right. Oh, Kevin. Yeah. We all see
You gotta get him on here.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got to open up his.
Oh, boy.
There he is.
Hello.
Can't see us, I'm waving to him, he can't see
You
us.
all sound like you're having a nice time.
We always have a good time here.
Very good.
You want to see? You want him to see you?
Well, I'm sure he doesn't care to see me, but.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm putting this over here so you can hear him.
Hey, Kevin, how are ya?
Good evening, everybody.
We're glad you can join us.
Yeah, this is fun. Thank you.
So you're going to give us an update on the draft sections 1 through 6 on the UDF, correct?
Yes, just really a status update on the overall process. It's a good report. We had our first, real work session with the planning board, at their last meeting in September on Articles 1 through 6. And I think we're in good shape. Meeting went really well in my view, and comments were kind of relatively minor. So I think we're in good shape on Articles 1 through 6. We're about to tee up going to Article 7 here at their next meeting. Lisa, is there any chance you can pull up that email with just the schedule so I can kind of lap them through what we're expecting going forward? Let's see. Yeah, I did want to share with you, we are going to modify the schedule slightly after speaking with the planning board chair and the planning board. We're going to divide the Article 7 and 8 exercise into a couple different meetings. So we're going to do just Article 7. And while y'all are smiling about the lawyer writing, I want to report that the actual draft of Article 7 took probably, 50 something pages of state statute and existing Weddington ordinances and cut it down to, I don't know, a quarter of that or so. So I'm working on less words rather than more, but I do think that's going to involve some conversation around the conditional zoning process going forward. Lisa's been able to consolidate a lot of things on the uses and dimensional requirements and some charts. So it's less words and some charts in it, but I'm sure we're going to need to slow down on Article 7 and also Articles 8 and 9, I think are going to take a little bit longer. And I've typed this up wrong. November should be 8 and 9, and then December will be the rest of it with the planning board. And then they wanted to add what we're calling an editorial meeting at the January meeting, where all the red lines are represented to them, that they can kind of take one look at the whole thing again before making their recommendation to you folks. So I'm feeling good about where it is. I guess I would say for, obviously want you all to at least monitor as we're going along, and you're certainly welcome to take a look at the 1 through 6 draft. If you have any comments or questions, I would say go ahead and send them to Lisa and I. And same thing as we go forward. I think the idea would be to keep having it available. If you all want some evening reading, I would say please feel free to go ahead. I'm feeling optimistic that we'll get a good product here at the end, and that would like to think. I mean, we've talked already. Our goal is certainly a unanimous recommendation from the planning board, as I've shared with you all. I really would like this thing to kind of land with full understanding of the ordinance provisions from everyone, and everybody, me, staff, planning board, and all of you in the end, very, very comfortable with the whole thing. So just wanted to give you a few minutes of an update that things are going well. No issues or concerns on my end, and we're just going to keep moving.
Because Article 7, the conditional zoning, is a crucial part of our ordinances, would it make sense to do a work session of explanation? I mean, for an understanding of council, I mean, does that make sense to do something like that? Or?
Well, I'm anticipating at the planning board, that's what our planning board meeting will be, because not only is it an essential piece to your current ordinance, it's certainly essential to how this UDO is going to land, right? You're going to have things that are either by right in a category of things that you can do because we feel good about the rules being set out ahead of time, and then everything else is going to be conditional zoning. So it's really only one of two things. So it is certainly critical. That's why I'm intending on taking a little bit more time with the planning board, just to make sure that folks are very comfortable there, because I see it having even a larger role than it has now going forward. We did at our initial work session spend a good bit of time on. I am certainly happy at any point in this to have that discussion with the council as well, and I'm very flexible on that.
Okay.
We could let the planning board iron out the majority of the bugs. If we see something we don't like, then
Okay.
we have less to work out.
Okay, I just want to make sure
And
that
I think we're
that there's
also
an
welcome to
understanding.
come to those meetings if you wanted to be involved in it more than.
And if our agenda is like next month, we can get a brief.
Okay.
Like having again next month for under the 7.
but you're right. I mean, it's a major
I
component.
mean, that's
I
just a
agree.
big
I
concern.
agree.
And I think
agree.
that if, you know, I think with complete due respect to planning board, you know, I think we all need to have a very clear understanding of what these say. And again, I have complete faith in our planning board, but it comes back to us. And I think we just
That's
make sure that we have a very clear understanding of everything. And it may be that we do sit in on some of those, on some of the planning boards for the sake of,
Sure.
you
So
know.
you can
us
explain
just
it one
making-
time or
It can
two
explain one
times,
time, and that may just be what it is. I just think it's really, really important that we really understand
I will tell you this, I haven't done it in a while, but I used to sit on, in the beginning, sit
the
on,
planning boards, yeah.
and it really helped me at the meeting, you
Mhm.
know, so.
Mhm. Okay,
We just would have to, if a bunch of us come, we'd have to tell Lisa for a quorum.
okay.
Well, and I'll throw just one practical idea out on the go from a timing standpoint, and you all are certainly welcome, again, of course, to come to the planning board. But, you know, one thing that might be a efficient use of y'all's time is if we go through the planning board meeting, collect the planning board's comments, and then I do the next generation pass through of that Article 7 based on the planning board comments. And then
Who? You've muted. I didn't.
How'd that happen?
It's across the room. How do I mute it?
Can he see us? He muted it.
How
Is there anything?
do I stop him?
And the camera's off, so he can't
He
see
looks
us.
frozen.
No, he's
No, he's
talking.
talking.
It's on you. Now I'm unmuted.
oh, you might have me back.
Yes. Sorry.
Start over again.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. I was just saying as a, just listening to that, if one thing that might be practical is after the planning board meeting, Lisa and I could do one more, we could do the update to that, to the draft based on their comments and based on that meeting. Put that on an agenda for you all to, you know, do a work session off that next generation version of Article 7. That would give you a near final draft document to read and prep for it. And then we would be working off something that was pretty well baked. I don't think we have to wait to February or March to do that. I think we can do that at one of your next, you know, if your next meeting has some time, we could try it then, or you know, the December meeting. But I would just, if you had to pick one thing to spend some extra time on, for sure, this is the topic.
Okay, well, I mean, that was my concern. I just want to make sure, again, I've even, and I don't in any way, shape, or form think that this would ever happen. I just know that there are times that things get done and sometimes councils aren't completely aware of it, or they, you know, the information is given to them and they may not completely understand it or ask or be real thorough in it, and I just want to make sure we all understand.
That's a fair statement.
And that's it. These are big changes and there's a lot of stuff, and I just think it's gonna, you know, we just need to make sure that we all get it. So that's all, but that's great. We'll get with Lisa and figure something out and maybe have a powwow at our planning board meeting.
All sounds good. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
Take care now.
All righty. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. Yep, y'all be good. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay. Lisa, any updates?
I have some good news
Woo-hoo.
with transportation. NCDOT released money to the local, to all the MPOs, and the CRTPO received 2.4 million, and it had to be used for right-of-way acquisition or bike and ped projects. And Tony Morris
Hmm.
And Weddington Matthews was chosen to move forward and use some of those funds for right-of-way acquisition.
Good.
So if they can get the utilities moved and right-of-way acquired, we may be looking back at this summer construction. Otherwise, they don't want to do it during school, and we'd have to wait till 2022. Which I was fine with them doing during school.
I mean, who says they don't want to do it during school? They
Schools,
The people that live in Union County.
yeah, well,
the people that go to, that's,
the people that go to that
If the
school.
money's gotta be spent, better do it when
Listen,
when we got it.
make hay while the sun shines. That's
so
it. That's
we
it.
received $234,000 for right-of-way acquisition to start moving forward.
So that is committed.
Can I, real quick, just interject on that? Is there some place on our website where we can also put updates on like right of ways that we are either working on or that we have funded for or somewhere on there?
Yeah.
So that when people say, oh, who's paying for the roundabout, or when is that ever gonna get done, or when are they gonna work on 84? I mean, even, it doesn't have to be a specific date, but like, could you say something like, why do 84 has been put off until 2032 per NCDOT?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
We have a list of the intersections, some kind of a paragraph form. But I don't think we have an updated, we have where they are in the process.
Projects, but where are we in the projects?
Right.
In the process.
I can tell you where we are. Nowhere. We're not going anywhere. We're stopped. That's where we are.
Under that transportation
If we
chapter,
were
let's
to talk-
talk about, we could update it.
Because they're talking about, you know, in the next newsletter, putting
Why it's
something, here are our
delayed.
projects. Here's where the widening projects are going, and it's NCDOT that's holding it up, or.
Yeah, so we've got the intersection updates with Tilly Morris, Weddington Matthews Road, and Newtown and Ennis, which, you know, that's all needs to be changed because it's not gonna happen in 2021. But it's got the draft plans, so we could just edit the dates and that kind of thing, but we do have the plans on here.
Give me the newsletter.
And the regular.
Yeah, just because, you know, just because people are asking, you know, like the roundabout at Chestnut, they had a concern about when that was gonna get done and, you know, who's paying for what, but
Well, that was all
That's tough, 'cause
developed.
that's
no,
not-
yeah.
That's not ours. so
That
we
was
would-
it's not ours, but if there was something to say,
Right.
hey, you know what?
No,
these are
but
the
you
projects
still-
that we are working on.
Yeah, people still like that information,
Yeah.
regardless of whether it's Weddington or
So
not.
how do you
They,
get it from next door?
yeah, just, if you wanna know exactly, if you wanna know everything's accurate, go to the next door, because it's accurate on next door.
Not really, they said it was open, so I went down there.
It's supposed to be open. I think it's open
It's
now.
open.
I know, but somebody put it a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago, hey,
Yeah.
it's open.
Yeah.
Oh, great, thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all I have.
okay, code enforcement, did we clean it up a little bit?
Yeah, a couple updates. Ironwood, we got the red truck moved, but they have now installed a fence that doesn't meet our ordinance. So we have started another notice of violation that went out Monday. Let's see, Bounty Lane, we had one car towed, and now we have another car that's been sitting out there for 3 months.
I'm sorry, where was this?
Bounty.
Bounty, oh, yeah,
We had
okay.
one of them towed just last week, 10/6.
And there's another one this
Now
time?
now
There's another one?
Deputy Kraut got the big number for us, so we'll get a notice of intent to tow out. I think it actually went out today. At the same address, and they also have a bunch of trash piled up in the front yard, so.
What about Crooked? Is that towed?
Cricket is going to be towed. They've been called. They've got like 5 days. Yeah. And then we'll take off Lansbury. We got that house demolished. Cricket Wood will be, it was supposed to be towed on the 6th. That didn't happen. It will in the next couple of days.
Huntington's going off.
And Huntington is going off. So your next month's report will be
Okay.
a little bit shorter.
Okay. All right. Leslie sent out financials. I think she also sent an email. If anybody had any questions. You can shoot her a quick email. Transportation. I did attend last month's CRTPO. nothing really to update. She obviously got updated information since then. So, there's not really anything to update on Weddington. The next meeting is next week on the 21st. And I don't know how much I anticipate a whole lot of changes with any of the stuff that dramatically affects us. All the changes and things that are going on, the money that they're at, for the most part, aren't things that affect us. So, good news about that. Right away stuff, but aside from that, I have nothing. Council comments. Smith, you can go first.
I always need to go first. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. It's our first meeting, and it's glad to see some people come out. So thank you.
All right, Mr. Perryman.
I'll echo that sentiment. It's good to be back. It's good to see folks in the room and sort of be talking face to face. And I'll put out that our next Western Union Municipal meeting is going to be Thursday, October 22nd at Wesley Chapel at 4 o'clock. And it is a public meeting. That means y'all can come to
Pack the room.
Pack the room.
Pack the room, folks.
Absolutely.
Pruitt.
I would just second everybody else's. Thank you for coming out. It's good to see everybody else again. Look forward to doing this again next month.
All righty. First, nothing.
Welcome to our new deputy. How about that?
There you
I'll
go.
say something new. Welcome to our new deputy. Thank you for your service. Thank you both for your service, and everybody stay safe. And the next time we'll see everybody will be after the election, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Stay warm and safe.
Okay. I will welcome Deputy Wren. We're so glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we're back. This was a lonely place. It's kind of creepy here by yourself. So I'm glad there are folks here. I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yeah,
All right. And that's all, folks.
All right.